It's time for us to talk about some of the best iPhones you can buy in the summer of 2022. Now, this is probably going to take us all the way to probably the next iPhone's release, and these are probably the iPhones I'd recommend the most among probably most of the other ones. Now, as always, if you have all the money in the world, go for the iPhone 13s, the iPhone 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max. Those are going to be much better iPhones, but starting off, we do have an iPhone like the iPhone 10. This is easily probably one of the best iPhones when it comes down to everything associated with the price tag, the performance, the build quality. It all is right here for a phone that you can probably get for around $200 to be honest. Now with the exterior, you can see this is a beautiful looking iPhone still. It definitely doesn't look like the most newest thing anymore, but when you look at this device, even in the glistening in the sunlight that it is in now, you can see that this thing still looks so beautiful. The display on this thing, the 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display, still looks very good too, doesn't really look that dated. And because all the other iPhones are pretty much in the same ballpark in terms of design, I don't think this phone is going to be looking that dated for, a long period of time. I think it's still going to be a pretty good looking phone, especially with all the newer iPhones having, notches as well. Now, the reason I would consider this one of the best ones is because of the price tag. Again, this isn't the best performing one, not the best cameras, not the best everything in total, but because of its price tag, it really makes it a little bit more accessible to a lot more people. This was a $1,000 flagship of 2017, and now you can get it for about $200. I think this is a very solid phone in 2022, especially around summertime. Now, the next one, very interestingly enough, is the 2018 somewhat budgetier phone. This is the iPhone XR. Now, with this type of device, what's really cool is that, first of all, very beautiful. I like this iPhone a lot. It doesn't have as good of a display as the iPhone 10, but because of the internals, it makes it a little bit of a better deal. The build quality isn't as premium as the iPhone 13, as the iPhone 10 or the iPhone 13, to be honest. It still feels really good. Glass on the back, camera, setup for the most part. Retina IPS panel instead of an OLED panel, but it still looks great, and I really haven't had too many issues with this panel either. Again, you're going to be getting a better phone, I think, overall on the iPhone 10, but this one has a longer future ahead of it on the 10R. You're going to be getting better performance, and I would probably say go for the iPhone 10R. You can kind of get these around the same price tag, $200 to $250. So again, for summertime, they're only going to get cheaper, and especially with these phones, they're not going to be affected a crazy amount with the iPhone 14 release. So if you ever want to resell in the future, you can get them for probably the same price, to be honest. Now, the next one is actually the direct successor of the iPhone XR, which is the iPhone 11. This is easily one of my favorite iPhones to recommend to people right now. And it's weird because this is a budget tier phone from 2019, but it wasn't a budget tier phone. I mean, $699. It was $50 cheaper than the iPhone XR at release. And this iPhone looks beautiful still. It performs very well too. And as I mentioned, I haven't had too many issues with the build quality, with the performance, or anything with this phone. My XR has given me a few issues, I'm not going to lie. But with the iPhone 11, you can see that this phone still looks very good as well. That dual camera setup too, this was the first time we saw an ultra-wide sensor on an iPhone in general. And this camera has been very, very solid. 4K 60 on the back and the front, and that ultra-wide sensor just screams to me premiumness, and I love this iPhone because of it. Is it the best camera of all time? Obviously not, but when you consider that you can buy this thing brand new for $499, but you can probably find this thing for less than $400 in the used market, this is also a very solid phone. The A13 Bionic chip inside of here has been great, 4 gigabytes of RAM, solid performance as well, and this is another phone I'd probably throw up there too. Now finally, you probably already know this, but the iPhone 13, like I mentioned, I would consider this probably one of the better iPhones you can buy. The 13 Pro more so, but at $799 or $829 off contract, this is a very solid phone I would recommend buying too. Again, it wouldn't be the first iPhone I would recommend people to buy. Again, this wouldn't be the cheapest iPhone or anything like that, but this is the best iPhone or one of the best iPhones you can buy, and I would probably recommend going down this route. If you have the money, go for it. This phone has it all. The best battery life really out of most iPhones, the 13 Pro Max more so, but this honestly has one of the better battery lives. Performance has been solid. The camera setup has been really, really good. The ultra-wide sensor has been really solid. MagSafe wireless charging if you're into it. I'm not really into it that much. You obviously have 5G that's sent from the iPhone 12s, but the performance and the stability has been amazing. I haven't had really any issues with this phone. I think my battery health is still at over 100% or still at 100%, which is nice, so no issues there. I still think this is a very solid phone, and at $799, it's a very solid phone to pick up. Again, not the cheapest one, but it's still the one I would probably recommend the most. So those are some of the iPhones I would recommend that I would consider the best of summer of 2022. This will lead us probably into the, iPhone 14 release. If you have any other thoughts or any other iPhones you would consider amazing, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.